All right. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. We're going to do a little bit of the normal stuff here today, but also talking about Elon, Twitter, what it could be his plan B here. Will he be getting funding from somewhere else, or will he be selling some of his Tesla shares? All of that good stuff. But for now, let's just kind of stick to Bitcoin, some of the major cryptos that we've been looking at. Uh, we saw the shakeout coming. I told you guys, hey, watch out. There's going to be a shakeout here. Whether you guys sold out on the shakeout or you guys used it as a buying opportunity, or if you guys didn't do anything and you guys just held your positions, whatever you guys did, I just hope you guys stuck to the plan because that's really the main point of what I'm trying to teach you guys here on this channel, right? So whatever you guys' plan was here, I hope you guys stuck to it. Now, as far as the weekly charts considered, we'll be talking about this over the next few days, of course, because it's going to be a very, very important couple weeks here. This week is important and the next week is important because for the most part here, we just want Bitcoin to stay above the 20-month moving average. We talk about the weeklies a lot, but right now we are really looking at that 20-month moving average as well. We've been hovering above this thing for almost 4 months now. Almost 4 months. We need to hurry up and bounce back off of this thing if we want to get back up here and try to use this as maybe a massive double bottom. I think is something you may see here, or we might just go back to a normal ascending triangle type of thing for Bitcoin. But in order for Bitcoin to stay bullish, we really just want to stay above at this point today, because the moving averages do change on a daily basis here. We want to stay above 40,286. Even now, it's kind of moving a little bit here, but 40,286 seems like a pretty good level that we want to stay above here by the end of April. If we close down below that, um, you know, things may get a little bit worse for us. We may see a little bit more aggressive attacks by the shorts, but we'll talk about that more when it actually comes down to it, okay? So let's leave the monthly chart for now. We talked about that. If you guys watched my video today, I put out a short and a shorter video talking about the 20-month moving average here. Now, I asked you guys in the question of the poll, are we going to be able to get back above this 20-week moving average here, this beautiful moving average? Let me take away the blue line here. Let's just kind of focus on this very fast. We're trying to get back above this level here. It usually takes us a little bit of time after we break back down, but rarely do we actually get above this 20-week moving average, break out, and then come back down. The last time we didn't keep on going up like this was up, 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 all the way back here in 2018, okay? We came down, we're not able to get back above it. Then previously here, we got above it. We weren't able to get back above it for a little bit of time here. So what's changed since then? We have a lot of institutional investors. We may see people try to buy back up Bitcoin here. We do see the whales kind of entering in a little bit. We're going to be hoping that the whales can really fix this for us, because what did I tell you guys over the last few days? The technicals for Bitcoin, unfortunately, are bearish. It is what it is. But Bitcoin has a special weapon that other stocks and things like that don't really have. We have whales. Whales can say, screw you to the technicals. That's the term I'm just going to use. And they can push the price up to whatever they want it to go as. They have limits, of course. They don't have unlimited amounts of money, but they have a lot of capital they can use to push Bitcoin up. And we saw that a little bit earlier today. Now, next, I'm going to actually explain to you guys something simple here. I've talked about this a few different times here, especially with my trend line video that I put out. I'll put out another video for you guys so you guys can get a little bit of a recap for it. I think I made a mistake in explaining to you guys about how breakdowns work in my mind, because I've been streaming for so long. I think that a lot of you guys are still here from back when Dogecoin was booming, and I kind of laid out my thesis about how I use trend lines, and I think I kind of just assumed you guys still knew that. So even though we talked about shakeouts here, I trust the trend lines that use the wicks 1,000 times more than I trust trend lines that use the bodies of trend lines, okay? This is something, well, let me just explain it to you in a practical sense of what we just saw over the past few weeks here. That'll make it easier. All right. We've been looking at the body of the candles right here. Now, we held this support after breaking down below this 50-day moving average, okay? We found a nice support level. We consolidated a little bit now, and we broke down below it yesterday. Technically yesterday. On yesterday's day candle, okay? We did break down it right here. It's unfortunate. That is bearish, but the whales pumped us back up, and that's a good thing here, okay? Now, next time we talk about trend lines here, I'll make this a little bit more clear. I trust these ones a lot more. That's why I usually have two right here, because this is the most important one. This one's important, but it's not important as far as us opening up different levels of trades, right? In fact, shorts. I opened up a short here and I sold half of it at a Fibonacci level, and that Fibonacci level was just fine for me. Now, here's what I'll say. If I can kind of zoom in here, you're going to see this trend line here. This trend line is from point A to point B. But along this line, let's count how many times we've actually broken down below this trend line here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times have we come back down below this trend line and not continue to come back down. This is why I tell you guys normally, hey, focus on the wicks. Focus on the wicks. If you guys see any of my other trend lines here, as far as when we broke out and stuff like that, it always has to do with the wicks. The wicks are much more reliable. You could have bought the breakout right here and you had a few good days of a run. Okay, you could have tried to do something more like this if you wanted to, right? But more often than not, you see how it broke out. Well, it broke out here. It didn't work. It tried, and that was it. Yeah. So this might actually not have been a bad idea, but still, I don't trust it too much. I'm willing to just wait a little bit longer for that full confirmation. So if anybody, there probably was people that shorted here last night. They got burned, and part of that burn was them pushing the price back up as they were liquidated out. So let's go over here to the 15-minute chart. You see the short last night? Some big whale was like, I'm going to short this sucker down. We got back down here. We've hit like an old Fibonacci level. We tapped for just a second. If you guys watched the 24-hour live stream, I think you guys should have seen that Fibonacci level. Let me double check that before I start talking here. Otherwise, I'll look like a fool. Because I try to have all those technicals ready for you guys. Ooh, that was loud. Back over here, back over here, back over here, back over here, back, reverse, reverse, reverse. Okay, so you can kind of see. Oh snap! I did something wrong. All right. Well, let me just go back all the way over here. You'll see we hit this Fibonacci level, and that's where we're kind of finding support at. And that's why I sold half of my position. I was stopped out of the rest of my position because I thought we might go down even more. We did not. But that's why you got to treat those trend lines a little bit differently. I'll put out another trend line video for you guys because I know YouTube doesn't actually show my content to everybody. Mostly because my videos are quite boring. But yeah, so that's kind of the gist of what's been going on so far today. But here, guys, we have a slim opportunity here. It's going to be up to the whales, of course. We have an opportunity this week to have a big, big reversal. Now, why do I say a big reversal is could be on the horizon here? Even though everything else, the technicals is still bearish, right? I'm still bearish, but whales have just said screw you to everybody that just shorted right here, me included. Although I managed to take some profit just because I'm conservative as far as trading is concerned. What do we have right here? The 50-day moving average and the 20-day moving average. Again, we're about to have a death cross here, which is going to be bearish. But if we look over the last few months, we've been so choppy. Death cross, we ended up going back up. Golden cross right there. We didn't do anything there. So as far as the 50 and the 20, they're not as reliable right now as they used to be back when Bitcoin was way back up here at all-time highs. All right. So not as reliable as far as the death crosses are concerned right here because we've just been too freaking choppy. But again, what do I always tell you guys? I hope you guys tell your friends this whenever they're learning to trade. Every time or 95 to like 98% of the time when we break above a moving average or break down below a moving average, we have these longer candles. And what did we have here? Crossing down below the 50. Longer candle, longer candle, longer candle going up, longer candle going up and down, longer candle, up, down, up, and so forth here. So we have an opportunity here. We have an opportunity here. And that's why over the past week I told you guys if you wanted to, you guys could take some bets right now and hope that we would actually kind of rally back up here, okay? Now, a lot of people that took nibbles over here are bets they might have gotten shaken out right here, which is why I kind of gave you guys a little shakeout warning, if you will. Yeah, during, I think it was like yesterday afternoon I took the video out. But yeah, so that's one thing we may be looking at. And if we do break above both of these moving averages here, the 20-day moving average that we're most likely going to want to aim for is at 42,653. 42,653. So if I can actually type this down right here, I want to write this down. I got a nice big cup of tea here today. Ooh, no sugar, but it still tastes good. All right. 42,653. I want a comma in there just because. All right. 42,653. Now, if we go over here to the weekly chart, The 20-week moving average is at 42,412. I want that comment there as well. So check that out. So we could actually get above, there's a saying for it, but we can, we can do two things at once basically here, and we can try to have a monster surge this week. Of course, we had three red candles in the weekly. Maybe that leads to a little bit of a bounce this week, but that's what we're hoping for, guys. That's like the bullish case for this week. We're trying to bounce. We did have a nasty week right here. We did have the shakeout. We're going to see if we're going to be able to bounce off here, and we're going to continue to go at least back up to the $45,000 range. That's kind of the hope here over the next week or two. Because again, we're trying to stay above that 20-month moving average here. As much as we care about these individual weeks here, this month is important because we've just been testing out this. We've been testing out this 20-month moving average for far too long. Now, one thing you guys do want to be aware of here, right here at the 50-week moving average, that is a level of resistance basically at 44,900, almost 45,000. If we can get back above that, that'd be awesome, but I don't know if we're going to see such a strong candle like this. We may see a stronger candle similar to this, but it ends up breaking out above the 20-week moving average and actually getting back above, getting close to the 50 and using this as a level of resistance, okay? As far as trend lines, there's not really much we could worry about right now. Maybe if you guys, well, let's use the daily chart. It'll be a little bit easier for us. Going to be hoping for something like that. I mean, this trend line is a little too much out there, if you ask me. I'd mostly be looking at some of the old things we were looking at before, as far as that 200 daily moving average. If we can get back above that, I think you'd see a lot more buying opportunities, a lot more people just willy-nilly buying straight into crypto here. All right, so that's kind of the gist of what we've been talking about over the last few days. Be aware of these trend lines that are not using the wicks. They're definitely a little bit different. That's why when we actually sold off our positions or swing trade positions over here, remember, we sold right here. If I can kind of stretch this out. Sold right there because that was the day we closed down below it. And even though it wasn't a drastic fall, what did it symbolize? Coming back up. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Then we eventually came back down, okay? I prefer using the trend lines that use the wicks. But of course, if you guys don't remember this trend line really wasn't too much on my charts until we actually stopped right there because I don't like using them too much. But now I can't ignore it just because, it's been a solid support level since we fell down below the 50-day moving average. Okay, but let's just do a little bit of a recap and see what's going on. We'll look at charts and just kind of some broad technicals. So far today, guys, let's look at the 7-day moving averages, or excuse me, the 7-day averages here to see how much many of these coins have gone up or down. And the last 7 days, Bitcoin is up about 3.7%. Not bad. Ethereum, 3.5%. BNB up 6%, XRP 11%. That's a lawsuit thing. They're doing really good. I haven't added any more XRP personally, but it's been doing very, very well in the last 7 days here. Solana's 3%, Luna 11%. Luna's been fantastic for a lot of us. It did have a large dip yesterday, so it's recovering all of those losses here, or over the past week, okay? Because overall, Luna is actually negative for the last 30 days. Kind of shows you where it's at. So it's kind of breaking even here. ADA up a little bit, AVAX up 5, Dogecoin up 4. In the last month, Dogecoin is up 13%, while you're seeing a lot of other crypto, like Bitcoin's down 3%, Ethereum's only up 3, BNB's only up 4, Sol's up 10. Dogecoin is doing fairly well for the last 30 days. People aren't really talking about that. I feel like we're starting to get people getting more juiced up about Dogecoin. And so you're starting to see people kind of add more to their long-term positions. I am not. I'm still holding what I have. I'm waiting to see what happens in the future, but I have a lot of Dogecoin, so I'm not really too concerned about adding more to that position. Anything else really here that draws my eye? Matic is up 6%. XMR Monero, that's been actually pretty good as well. That's 34% up for the month. That's really having a big surge today. That's really been putting everything else into perspective for us. Anything else really here? No, not really much. Zcash is doing okay. Stefan, GMT has actually been really good. This is up 370% in the last month. I'm not touching it now. I bought a little bit ago, but I'm pretty close to, frankly, just selling it most, like 80% of my position out, waiting for some type of pullback in the future, and then I'll be buying back more. It may come back to bite me if this is really a bottom and we bounce back up, but I want to take some profits here. BitTorrent's green for the month. That's kind of nice to see. eCash is up 9% for the month. So we're seeing some nice moves here. But let's check out the technicals here just for a few of the stocks. Ethereum here held this 50-day moving average here. Ethereum is about to get squeezed here. We should, and this kind of goes along with what we've been talking about with Bitcoin. We're going to be expecting a larger move this week or next week, a pretty large move, whether it's on the downside or the upside. Uh, Probably more on the downside here, but again, whales look like they're trying to push us back up. Technicals say down, whales say up. Whales are more powerful than technicals right now, which kind of is weird because we like technicals here. Um, Dogecoin held the 50-day moving average here. Hopefully, can get back above the. Close this out of here. Actually, let me just get rid of. I won't get rid of all of it. But hopefully, we can get back above the 20-day moving average. But something weird about Dogecoin here, it doesn't always have these monster moves when it gets above the moving averages here, right? It had a big move there, a little bit of a move there. But normally, when it breaks above these moving averages, it's not doing as many big moves as you might see something with a Bitcoin or an Ethereum or something like that, right? But so far, you're seeing Dogecoin do fairly well so far. Matic, anything specific here? Held support right there. Actually, held the old trendline support as well as the 130 support that we've been looking at. So that was kind of nice. ADA, not much to say here. Hopefully, it can get back above the 50. You may see ADA have a big pop here over the next few days if Bitcoin does look to surge, because you will see ADA have these larger moves as it breaks above the moving averages. So keep a track of ADA here. XRP, a little bit quieter right now. Had a little bit of a surge. If Bitcoin is green today, XRP will be up like another 5-10%. You'll see a nice little boost as it breaks above these moving averages here. Anything in particular? Luna. Luna had a good day yesterday after having this nasty fall. Luna really never took a major crash like everything else, right? It had this little bit of a drop, but it's kind of pumped back up, which has been pretty nice. This company has been efficient, and this is probably one of the companies, if you guys don't have it in your long-term portfolio, not financial advice, but it's something that's been really good so far. Now, if you're buying it now, of course, there's a higher market cap. Don't expect major returns from it, but there can be solid returns. But after a pullback of about 35%, we had a little bit of boost yesterday. We're going to be hoping for another boost that takes us towards $105 today if it does want to break out above the 50 and the 20-day moving averages here. Be forewarned, we are headed for our first death cross for Luna for a while. Last time we had a death cross, we did have a nasty move down. Keep an eye on it. We'll see if we can actually get back above it if Bitcoin does have a little bit more of a surge. It might have a really good day just to have a really bad day following it, so make sure you take some profits off the table if you are swinging this or just trading it for a few days here. Sheeb, above support right now, nothing too crazy there. EOS, not much. Ethereum Classic didn't do anything as far as the 50-day moving average here. Still consolidating, hoping for some type of stronger move here, but right now, kind of boring actually watching ETC. Still a buying opportunity if you ask me right now. So just because Bitcoin's a little bit more bullish as the whales kind of pumped in some capital into the market here. Especially, guys, because Bitcoin is good today, and you actually look at the regular markets. The regular markets didn't really do much today. Down, 0.02%, 0.14%, 0.1%. Markets were down just a little bit, but the crypto markets were having a very, very nice day. Anything else here that really piques my interest? STMX, I bought some more of this today, not yesterday. I bought some kind of around like the 0.18 level, so I'm only up a teeny bit. I bought it before the drop here. We did have this trend line here. It bounced right off of that trend line perfectly. But yeah, I'm hoping for this to have another crazy pop. My stop loss for this is about a little under 17.017. Anything else here I really need to pay attention to? No, a little bit of trend line there. FTM, no. ICP. I mean, ICP is on the verge of going to another all-time low. If you guys have ICP, you're just banking on Bitcoin like never going below this level again, because if we take another drop, you will see ICP start to head back down below like $15, which will not be a good thing here. Link is fine, Litecoin fine, Mana fine. I need to update some of these technicals here. Elon, look at this. Elon coin, Elon Mars, Doge Elon Mars. This is at support pretty much. It didn't break it. This could be a good buying opportunity because it's still close to the trend line here. You could have a pretty, what is this, 1.5%. Give it like a 3% stop loss, so it gives a little bit of, a little bit of leeway here. But if it gets back up here towards that 50, that's a 3% profit. If Bitcoin does have a little bit more of a rally and does break out above that 20-week moving average, then you're going to be looking at returns about 10%. That could actually be a good play here. But it's not so much of a really massive play, but it's a play where it's very easy to manage your own risk in this one. So I like this one. I'll probably be doing a leverage play on that if I can find someone that actually trades leverage on it, or futures on it. Sol, fine, held support, kinda. Looking to bounce. I don't like how it closed down below the 50 here, but hoping for something better on this one. Anything else really? Gala maybe. Found support, tapped right on it, fine, and XLM. Getting choppy on the 50-day moving average. We are looking for some death crosses coming through here. Geez, I hope Bitcoin can kind of flip some of those around for us. Okay, let's go back over here. Now we're just waiting as far as Bitcoin for it to make a move. And one last thing before I go over and answer some of you guys' questions here is let's take a look at the moving averages as far as the simple, exponential, DEMA, and the TEMAs here. I've been having fun looking at those a little bit more over the last few weeks. And we can talk about this as well. So, simple moving averages, we're not going to talk about that. This is the weekly chart. We don't need to talk about that. We've already talked about that at the beginning of the stream here. Let's go to the exponential moving averages, though. Let's go with that one. Okay. The weekly chart. Let's see this one right here. There we go. We're closer already to breaking back above the 20 moving average here on the DEMA. This isn't the. Why is that moved around there? Hold on a second here. This is a double, not the EMA move chart back. There we go. All right. Looking at the exponential moving averages. Not my bad, guys. We did not have a death cross this week. We're going to have it next week, apparently. We came very, very close to having a death cross here. We did not. We already know the simple moving average had the death cross on the weekly, but we're okay so far here. As far as the daily moving averages, guys, right here, we have to get back above 41,820. That's similar to a similar point of where the 20-week moving average is here. So keep an eye on it. It should be interesting. We did have a death cross here, unfortunately. We'll see what happens. We're still in choppy terrain, guys, right? I'll say this over and over again, but I just want you guys to understand this. Bitcoin is still bearish. However, whales right now are trying to pump Bitcoin up, so that kind of gives us a little bit of pause saying, hey, let's see where this goes. All right. So we're going to see if we get pushed back down or if we're going to be able to break back up above this. That's really the goal here as far as these moving averages. Now, over to the DEMA here. On the weekly chart, we're actually right below the 20-week moving average here on the DEMA, double exponential moving average. We're trying hard to break above it. Last time we broke out above it, we had a nice surge. Anything else? Last time we broke above it over here, we had a nice surge. Last time we broke above it right here, had a nice surge. So that's what we're really hoping for. That the last time we broke above the 20-week moving average on the simple moving averages, we only went up for 1 week, ran into the 200 daily moving average, and then we just got smacked back down. That's not what we're looking for this time. We're hoping to get a little bit better here. You can see right here, popped above it, halted at the 200. No, I'm not going to mess with it. But you can imagine there's a 200 daily moving average up here. Got stopped, came back down, and what do? We stopped right there at the 20-week moving average as far as the DEMA is concerned. Okay, and on the dailies here, we're trying to get back above the 20-day moving average here. A lot of room to have a nice pop here. All of these moving averages are all so tightly knit together. It's rare that we've been choppy for so long, so all these moving averages are all in the same spot. When that happens, you see all the moving averages kind of in this, $5,000 to $6,000 of range. We're either going to have a massive pop or a massive crash. One way or the other. There's going to be ample opportunities to make money, but you're going to look for some extreme volatility when all this wraps up. Hopefully in the next week or two. That's kind of my time frame here. I may be wrong on this one, but we'll see how it looks. All right, and after the DEMA, of course, we just have the team to look at, then we'll get to you guys' questions and so forth. Okay, TEMA, triple exponential moving average. This has the most of the weight towards the most recent candles, even more than the exponential and double exponential moving averages here. So you can see if I kind of take off the candles here, we actually already had a death cross here. Didn't do nothing with the TEMA. TEMAs are not too important to me as far as the moving averages here on the daily. But something that to be interesting here, we've already had a death cross back there as well. It took like 2 days. Okay. Back to the weekly here, though. We're trying to hold the 20 TEMA here. 20 TEMA. That's what we're trying to hold. So I'm going to be using this a little bit as a support level. because something that was kind of annoying to me, and we do have the 50-week moving average up here. Something that was annoying to me over the past few days, guys, was if we look over here, and I put up Bitcoin chart again, and let me actually go to another one that's a little bit cleaner so I don't have to worry about it as much. You guys know that I like to use the Ichimoku cloud. We've been so choppy over the past few weeks that the Ichimoku cloud has been like not even a good indicator for anything because we've just been so choppy. We broke down below it. That was a more bearish move. We bounced back up, right? Right here on the weekly chart. Look at this. We broke down it right here. We got back above it, but then look at that. It was support for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the 8th week, we managed to break out only for nothing to happen. Come back down, find a little bit of support, and then, of course, we actually did it in breaking down last week here. So the Ichimoku cloud right now is pretty much not worth me using at this point in time because it's just been so choppy. Back over here in the past, the Ichimoku cloud has been fantastic for us. Break out above the Ichimoku cloud right here, or this is the weekly one, but a little bit different. But let's go to the daily one. You break above the Ichimoku cloud here. Great, great time. Great, great time. You break above the Ichimoku cloud here. Great, great, great time. Great time. Great time. You break out above the Ichimoku cloud here. Great time. Great time. You break out the Ichimoku cloud here. Good times, right? And then we break out above it right here. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Break out above it here. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Have some good times, though. Come back down. Now we broke out above it right here. Nothing happened. We'll see what happens next. But Ichimoku Cloud, it's lost some of its exciting factor, if you will. It's lost some of its accuracy, I think is a better way to say it here. So I'm still going to be looking at it, but it's not nearly as important as I was using it just a matter of months ago, right? Or even weeks ago. But okay, put this right back up here. Good, I'll put the Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart here. Look at the 15-minute chart. We're just waiting to see if Bitcoin has any activity here. Again, we are going to be heading for a lot of moving averages, which means a lot of resistance. If we don't get above those resistance levels, they're just going to push us back down, to be frank, right? But again, we're hoping for whales to push us back up there and not in a small move, something larger like this, where we have a nice little spike and we're just going higher, 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 and higher, okay? But okay, let me see what you guys are talking about here. As far as this is concerned, I'm missing something here. There we go. All right. Hey, Alan Time. Hey, Doge Army. Hope you guys are all doing fine. Hey, Alec. Hey, Alex D. Good morning from Cyprus. Ooh, there you go. Oh, that's early morning over there. Yeah, 4 a.m. Goes cheaper, I think. Okay, I never considered the Wix as full breakdowns. What do you call what's this, full breakdowns? Wix. Yeah, I prefer to use the Wix can. It's just me. I prefer to use them. It's like the extra level of certainty for me because I'm a little bit more conservative. You don't have to use the Wix if you don't want to, but I prefer using the Wix because they've just been more accurate for me over time. And that's because I like to do these larger swing plays, right? Larger swing plays. So if we go back over here to Bitcoin very fast, and we kind of go back in time here, my terminology is you sell on the breakdown so you don't have to worry about the crap that follows afterwards, even if it goes up. I just prefer to take the profits. So over the last summer, Ken, you were here, I know that. A lot of people, if you weren't here, we just kind of were taking small nibbles throughout the entire summer because it was just so freaking slow. There was nothing else to do besides just kind of buy, and waiting for another large market to occur, right? Or another bullish market. The bullish market came. We started to scale out over time over here, but that first big selling point was right here, right there. And you can see the strong move happened that once it actually broke down here, and as well, we had the moving averages all kind of clumped together, right? And then I think there was even a few more. If you did want to, if you want like here's one right here. There was another selling opportunity right here if you wanted to for scaling out. And this sort of circumstance, it actually ended up pumping up here. But if you think about it from this perspective, depending on how greedy you are, and I'm pretty conservative as you guys know, if I scale out right here, I missed out on another 18% of profit as far as Bitcoin's concerned. That's a lot. So, but overall, as my averages were concerned, I still managed to make a good 26% profit, right? So that's kind of how my mind works when it comes to trend lines. But again, I'm doing these longer nibbles. I'm still nibbling right now. I've been buying up positions not left and right, but over the last few days, every few days, I end up buying more to some positions, hoping for another rally. Whether that rally comes this week, next week, like 4 or 5 months from now, I'm still going to have open positions in the market, and then I'm going to have my longer term positions as well. But I prefer using the wicks of trend lines. You don't have to use them, right? You don't have to use them. Sometimes the body of the candle works better. I just don't trust myself to really trust the body of the candle here. So like, let me go back over here to body. Could have sold it right. Okay, maybe it's a day earlier, I guess you could say. But in circumstances like this, it really doesn't make too much of a difference. Maybe if we go back over here a little bit more to that body of the candle, maybe right there where it starts to get a little bit more choppy. Now it's choppy, choppy, choppy. You only lose out maybe like 5 to 7% profit right there. Maybe that's a better way to use it. But for me personally, I just prefer to look at the wicks because the wicks, like, it's just so much nicer in my head. It makes so much more sense. Just for the breakdowns, breakouts. No, for breakouts as well. For breakouts as well. When you do wicks on body candles, sometimes I see that it just like ends up being a false breakout, even if it does close above that level. Just because the real wick breakout, right, is a little bit higher above, and that's the real level of resistance. Where I think bots use that level a little bit more than most. Oh, Loki's over here. He heard me talking. Hey, boy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep. Okay. He's getting some nice butt rubs today. He wanted to go to the park, but it's pouring down right out here in Washington. Surprise, surprise. Um, so we just went out for a little bit of a walk. All right, but let me go back over here to the one auto. There you go. But, the one thing you could expect for Bitcoin over the next 2 weeks is volatility. One way or the other, we're going to have some volatility. Um, I'm still nibbling here, but I'm not really buying large amounts of crypto. Maybe a few $100 a week. Not nothing too crazy here. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, David. Yeah, I've been seeing a couple of you guys talking about the inverse head and shoulders. I'm hoping it can play out. I don't know if it will, just because I'm more bearish on Bitcoin, of course. But if it can, that'd be a nice little pop that kind of leads us straight into the 50-day moving average, the 20-day moving average, the 50-week moving average, and the 20-week moving average, and bouncing off of the 20-month moving average. That would be a golden strategy right there. If it works out, great. I'm nibbling right now. I'm not really buying anything big for it, but if we can see that breakout, that'd be really nice to see. Let's see. Hey, Russian to fight. Why did I block you from commenting? You're commenting right now. Nothing's blocked. If one of the moderators blocked you or muted you, you probably broke some type of rule and were not nice or polite or something like that. Let's see. Hey, Jay. STMX 30 days up 27%. Yeah, STMX for me is more of a hold. So I have some for the long term. Only a small amount of STMX for long term. But I like STMX because it has these really nice pops out of nowhere. And it has a lower market cap here. So if I were to check it out right there. Market cap is 185 million. 185 million. It's number 273 on Coin Market Cap. So, okay, I just opened it right here. That's fine. Um, but here's the daily chart. It does have some really nice rallies here, and that's why I like it. And I think over time you will see this get onto the number one page of Coin Market Cap, and that's where I can see some really good stuff happening here. All time highs for this are only at about what almost 10 cents here, and right now we're at about 2 cents. So this has a lot of potential upside for us if we just get back up to all time highs from here, not from the lows, but just from here. We're looking at about a profit of 457%. Not too bad. And then, of course, over time, I'm hoping for it to get back up here to, 20 to 25 cents. I think that's possible over the next year or so. And then from there, that's like 1,000, 2,000% return. That'll be really nice in case any of you guys want to do longer term holds on this one. But so far, ever since it opened up here, or at least it's been on Binance, look at this. It's been pretty strong. It's been holding, right? So let me go over here to this magnet. There we go. It's holding. That's all I care about. It's holding, it's holding, it's holding. It's been doing a lot better. There are so many coins out there like ICP or even Dogecoin. Dogecoin's an exception because Dogecoin just ran so high and so high. It was kind of a phenomenon. So it was really overbought. But you think about things like ICP, they kept on falling and finding new lows and stuff like this. This has been holding strong, and I do like that. And if you look at STMX right here, just ran into a little bit of resistance. That's all we did over the last few weeks. Just ran into some resistance here. Could be another good buying opportunity here where we want to see it bounce up and make a move back up here towards 3.5 cents or so. But the opportunity for STMX is still there. I still like it as a longer term hold. I only have a little bit of money invested in it, but I usually put more money into my swings with this or my nibbles because when it pops, and I enjoy it. So last time I ended up, doing a bunch of nibbles, I ended up having an average of somewhere like around here, like 2 cents, and you can see it went from 2 cents all the way down here to 1 cent. So I was down quite a bit, right? And I added more over here, as we kept on going up all over the place. So my average after that was like 1.6 cents. So not too bad. Let me go over here. So 1.6 or 0.016, excuse me. So by the time I ended up having a little bit of a pop over here and I hit the 200 daily moving average, I was starting to scale out at about 82% profit. Now, it ended up going all the way up here to 256, and then I ended up scaling out like right there for the last bit of it, not at the very top, but just like 10% less than that, and that worked out pretty well. I'm loading up right now again, so in case something like this does happen in the future, especially off of a breakout here, I'd be very happy to see where STMX goes now. My average for STMX right now happens to be about like a penny and a half. So, I haven't really made much profit if you look at the chart here. Same thing because it's at 0.018. But I'm hoping that over the next few months, if Bitcoin does really have a bounce here, again, this is a gamble on my part because I'm still bearish on Bitcoin. But if whales are pushing it up, I don't care. I'm still going to go with the whales here, move it up a little bit more, okay? And hoping for this one to have a nice little rebound. This is fun. Bitcoin 15 probably better. Yeah, we're finally breaking down below the 20 moving average here. Hopefully we can get back above that in the next 8 minutes or so. Okay. I heard you can buy AMC tickets with Doge now. Oh, that'd be kind of nice to see. If Doge is making progress on that field, I'd be really happy with that. I haven't even can't remember the last time I went to an AMC theater. I can't remember the last time I went to a movie theater here, guys. It's been a minute. I think the last time I went to a movie theater, I went to go see Alien. I went to go see Alien at a movie theater in Tacoma, which my friend's dad is part owner of. It's the Grand. It's a grand. It's like an old school cinema in downtown Tacoma, and basically they have like a trivia contest, a whole bunch of nerdy stuff about people that like older movies. Like one of the questions is, what was the name on the tombstone in not Transformers? What's that guy's name? Not the translator, not Transformers. Terminator. What was the name on the grave of the Terminator that had all the weapons stashed in it? It's questions like that are really nerdy. I never know them, but I have friends that know them, and it's like really intense. Because every time you get an answer correct, you get free tickets for the next show. It's called Weird Elephant. Is like the nightly thing they do, but it's a really fun thing, and that's like the last time I went to a movie, and that was like 8 months ago or something like that. It's definitely been a minute since I've been to the movie. So if I get a chance, I'll see if I can spend some Dogecoin on a movie ticket to AMC, even if I don't go to the movies, just to kind of show you guys how it's done. But I do need to go out there and get some movies. But ever since I spent all that money on the surround sound system and the flat screen TV and all the lights and stuff, I'm just like, do I really need to go to the movies now that my sound system is better than what they got them at the movies? I've been saying, nah, I don't need to really go too much. Let's see. Hey, Slimy. Thoughts on Microsoft? Yeah. So, I've been looking on Facebook and a lot of groups and stuff I follow on there, and it's been kind of funny. Facebook's been having a lot of heated discussions whether it's actually going to pump up or not, because people think it's been having this really solid level of support. And you know what? Let me see. I haven't looked at it in a second here. Yeah, I deleted all my tech on this. Yeah. All right. Short term, let's use this level of support right about there. Support right there as well. Okay, good. For now, I guess let's use that. We've been kind of trading in this channel here, okay? My feeling is that over time, we'll see Microsoft go back down as we see earnings season kind of heat up here pretty soon. I don't think the economy is too good. Maybe the numbers will be better than expected, so forth. We've seen a little bit of that as far as the banking sector this week. That's been kind of interesting. But we really want to hold this like 272 level until I see anything different happen here with Microsoft. I'm going to avoid trading it until it actually breaks one way or the other out of this channel here. I'm really just waiting for the channel to break. I'm using the body of the candles right now just because it looks like it actually held up right here from this wick to this body of the candle right there. But if we close down below maybe 272 or maybe even 271, if you want to get a little more cautious there, then I would look to buy some puts in anticipation of maybe a poor earnings or so. But for right now, this thing is just trading in a choppy way. Right here, let me see, up 15%, and so far, you know, down 11%. Very, very choppy. If you're buying right now and you want to take you want to buy at support, I would wait for it to get a little bit lower and hope for a bounce up here on Microsoft over the next few days. But as far as the technicals for this one, you're just sticking with the channel. There's no breakouts or something crazy happening. We had a golden cross here with the 20 and the 50. Really didn't do much here. We had a death cross here with the 50 and the 200. And again, still didn't do much. The market is trying to price in all of this crazy news going on. We got the Ukraine-Russia war stuff going on. That is fading from the market's mind. That's kind of slowly fading away because it's just not becoming more important. And the news keeps on showing the same exact stuff every day, like every single day. So financial institutions, and I think the people as far as in the United States are kind of getting numb to the thing of seeing it people every day, kind of the war, the ravaging on in Ukraine. Okay. Now, Federal Reserve, I think the market has kind of priced in some of that movement over the next year, unless there's been some type of drastic change in policy here, which I don't think is going to happen. I think the market is almost done pricing and seeing something crazy go on here. I think what's going to affect Microsoft more than anything here is if it stays in this channel here, you want to be watching a lot of these different earnings reports that come out this week. As far as social media companies come out, if they are making some good profits, awesome. Last time they had earnings, we had a little bit of a drop, but ultimately not too bad of a thing coming here. I think what people are looking for is, well, a few things. How is advertising do on Facebook? Do they see advertising staying strong, which means small businesses are continuing to pour in money to Facebook to give them ad revenue? That's the first thing, right? Second thing here is, as far as this is Microsoft. Sorry, this is not Facebook. My bad. I kind of got into two different things there. As far as Microsoft's concerned, you want to see that a lot of the computer companies are doing fine during earnings report. Forget about Facebook. Facebook's in a whole different area. Facebook's much more bearish than this. But as far as Microsoft's concerned, I would only really trade it right now if it can really get out of that channel. Okay, just out of that channel. All right. Back over here. One douche douche. There we go. Hey, Bideford, good evening. The market is definitely crazy. To second guess what the whales are going to do or not to do makes it interesting for sure. Yeah, so again, the technicals are bearish for Bitcoin. I wish I had better news for you. But again, I've been trying to say this for the past like 2 weeks or so. I've been trying to say it in very polite language. The whales can say screw you to the technicals and just drive the price up. We talked about that a few times here, and I know you know that, Bideford. But something that's interesting is like when you see that kind of happening, it gives you more confidence to hold, maybe longer than you might otherwise want to. But if you guys are swing trading right now, there was a buying opportunity over the past few days as we were kind of hovering around that support level. If you guys lost out because the shakeout shook you out, that's fine. You guys stuck to your plan, and it was a lost trade, but it's no reason to be upset about it, right? You just lost some money. It's fine. You'll make some money next time, right? As long as you guys have that trading journal that I gave out to you guys for free, you want to be keeping all of that. You want to be keeping all of that information kind of organized, right? But when that happens, like your best bet is just to kind of hold and wait it out. Because what else are you going to do? You can try to trade off of intuition with the whales, but oh my gosh, like we could be popping up by the whales one day just for the other whales to kind of crash us back down. And unfortunately, right, yesterday we actually did break down below that trend line. We closed below the trend line. So the next time we come back to that trend line, it's not going to be anywhere as strong, unfortunately, which means if we get back down there, ooh boy, we may start to see some not so fun times here. So I haven't bought anything as far as a bounce play here. I got shaken out. No, I didn't get shaken out, but I got stopped out of my shorts because I sold half of my shorts at that trend line down here. Right, I sold half of my shorts right there. I was gonna see if I could, like, if it would come back up and I could buy some more, right? And so I was waiting for it to come back up here so I could buy. Because a lot of times we talked about this. We break down, then we come back up, and then we really take that big hit down. But this all happened so fast, I was like, I'm staying away from it, right? So my main point here is, don't spend your time trying to guess to see what the whales are going to do. Just have a plan for whatever move happens next. So right now, guys, if you wanted to buy some positions and have a 3-4%, let's say 3% stop loss on Bitcoin, which means if you bought right now, your stop loss would go all the way down here, or let's just say 2%, would come all the way back down to this trend line. Let's just say 2% for argument's sake here. 2% stop loss. Well, if over the next few days we break out above these moving averages here, which is likely if the whales pump us up one more time or even two more times over the next few days, well, look at that. That 2% can go up about 5-6% here if we get it back above those two moving averages there, because every time we break down below or above those moving averages, really strong moves, really strong moves. That's on the downside. On the upside, strong move, strong move, strong move, strong move above the 20-day moving average right here. Strong move over the 50. So that's what you're hoping for right now if you are taking your position. I'm not trading much right now, mostly because I had some personal stuff come up here. A friend of mine passed away, so I've been kind of dealing with that type of stuff and talking to some friends and reminiscing and things like that. But you know, otherwise, I probably would have been taking this trade and kind of spending more time in the market space. But right now, I got a lot of stuff going on here, so I want to make sure that no matter what happens, I kind of have a plan for the market, and that's what your guys' goal should be here as well. You guys want to have a plan set in for us. So if you do want to buy in here and get a 2% stop loss for yourself, go for it. But that 2% stop loss, stick with it. Don't let yourself become a bag holder for whatever reason. We end up having a really bad day today or the next few days, okay? But if we have a good day, make sure to not be greedy and just take some of those, take some profits off the table right up here, maybe around like $42,500, $43,000. If you see some type of massive pump, you could hold on a little bit longer if you wanted to, but make sure just to shave off a little bit. So no matter what happens, you guys are walking away with a good sized profit. Because of course, the price can go up and down all around. That's fine. Your job is to make a profit out of the price action of the currencies. It's a simple thing to do. I mean, it sounds simple. It's more complicated, but people seem to make it more complicated by always trying to be more greedy than they're supposed to be. That's why I sold half of my shorts right here at the trend line, or excuse me, at the Fibonacci level. And what happened? It even went below the Fibonacci level. But me, I was like, you know what? That's my plan. I'm sticking with it, and I'm more conservative. And if you guys watched my my double top trading tutorial a few days ago that I posted, maybe I think I posted it yesterday or today, actually. Um, One of the things I talk about is you're going to have different levels of greed. I have 50% right here I was selling, and I was hoping that if it came back down lower, I would be able to sell the rest of it. Unfortunately, it did not happen, so no matter what happened, though, I still walked away with that profit up here, and then I walked away with some profit because that stop loss was actually below the initial opening price for that short, which means no matter what, I still had two winning trades right there off of two different closing of the positions. Okay, there you go. There we go. But yeah, it's going to be a fun, wild week as far as the cryptoverse is considered, right? There we go. Taking another sip of tea here. I've been really tired. I did not get any sleep. Well, I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. I'm having a really. I need to take some melatonin. That's what I need to do. Mm. Ooh, all right. I've been drinking lots of tea with no sugar. It's been making me feel really nice. All right, there you go. Almost a little bit of a baby double bottom here on the 1 minute chart. Hopefully, we can have a little bit more reversal there. Let's see. And hey, Booger Up, you love STMX? It's a good pump. It's a good pumper one, and I think it's good for a long term hold. I only recently thought about it getting into it for as far as a longer term hold. Though I used to be kind of more of just a pumper on it. Thoughts on the pump and dump and heading back down to 37K. Anchor, do we have that would be the most likely scenario here. So it might be more of a bull trap, so to speak. I think I talked about this with David a few days ago on one of my posts or one of my videos in the comments section. And we were talking about how even if we break back down, since it's not technically a trend line on the wicks, it's on the body of the candles, there's a chance we may fall back down and get pumped back up. And then from there, they really tank us down hard. If that's the case, just make sure you have a plan. That's why I said if you guys are buying right now for a potential move later on in the day here, you guys are just going to have a 2 or 3% stop loss on Bitcoin, maybe a 4 to 5% stop loss on your crypto, hoping for like a 10% return if we have another big day today, especially since we're hoping for a move above the moving averages, having a very large or green candle there. So there's a good chance we could just have more of a bull trap here and come back down to 37,000. But, think about that more if Bitcoin does start coming back down here to like the $40,000 range. If we come back down here and lose about 800 points, then you might start seeing people panic all over again, and you'll see the whales that bought up down here. You may actually see them, start to sell off, and then you might see the shorts end up trying to liquidate some people here pretty soon, because there were shorts that made some money off of this move down here, but whales took it right back to them, and we're still in a waiting game as far as who's going to win this matchup, because retail traders have no impact on the market right now. It's unfortunate, but we just have no impact, because retail traders, as far as what we do, we're either going to be holding for the long term, which a lot of us are, or we're just going to be trying to trade some of these technicals here. But what did we see? We didn't really continue the breakdown here, because we stopped at the Fibonacci level and bounced right off it. Whales took advantage and pushed us back up here. Like, the technicals work to a certain degree. Look at this. We came up here to the Fibonacci, held some resistance right there, came back above it, broke above the Fibonacci level, stayed right at the Ganfan level, broke out above that, came back down to the Ganfan level. So there are things that are working, but it's not the larger grand scheme moves that would make you the most profit while you guys are swinging. It's like, that trade that I held last night. This is a 15-minute chart. I bought it like right here, a little bit lower, not actually at the breakdown point. That's 2.5% with a 25x multiplier on it. So I made about 50% on that play right there for holding for about 5 hours. 5 hours of holding just to make that. Fine. That's a great return if you ask me. But then what did I have to do? I waited and waited and waited. Because why did I wait even longer? And I said, okay, I'll hold on a little bit before selling the rest of my shares, because I wanted to get that Fibonacci level down here. But look, I had some false hope. I was like, oh man, we might go back down. Oh, we're coming back up. And I waited and waited and waited until the morning. And in the morning, I saw that I stopped out, because I had my stop loss like right around here. It was kind of where I thought the 50 moving average on the 50-minute chart may be, and that happened to be a little bit higher than what it actually was. But anyway, I ended up stopping out right around here. And so think about this. So first trade that I did half of it, about 2% return times the 25x leverage, 50% return on that one trade. Now, going back over here, this is only 0.6, right, times 25. So that's not even 25% return, maybe like 14% return. Still good, but again, I was hoping for more, and that's why it's okay to scale out around these Fibonacci levels, because you want to be safe with it. You want to be extra cautious, extra safe with it, if you will. Okay. Yeah, we can go back over here now. Hey, Michael. COVID killed the movie theater industry? Oh, yeah, it did. It was hard on it. I never went to the movies much in the first place. All the movies around me are fairly expensive, and even though I have the money for it, I just there was never no other use. I think the only time I went to the movies was like the drive-in movies, because you could just chill and talk with your friends in the car and stuff like that and just have a good time. The movie theaters, yeah, it's nice and everything, but I tend to have more fun going out with friends to the movies, like at the dinner before or after the movie, than the drinking that comes after the movie. That kind of is the good stuff that I feel about the night. The movie is just kind of like part of it, where you can talk about the movie later on, but I never see anything really good about movies as far as what I'm concerned. Like, I guess I have my light behind me, so you guys can't see it, but, I have the 77-inch OLED flat screen TV, 2021 edition. Not the newest, but pretty new. About like $3,000 of speakers, $1,200 receiver. I have a decent setup, not like the full-on movie studio, because I don't have all this. I don't have like the sound in the ceiling, which I wanted to get, but I was like, I don't want to pay for that. But, it's nice. I got the all that good stuff, right? And I can have friends over. I got the reclining chairs and all that good stuff. I enjoy it quite a bit. But I know that, if I go to the movies, I can't just push pause to go, make some popcorn or some kettle corn or whatever. It's just, it's not as nice as just having it at home. But, of course, I've had to soak in a bunch of money into that thing to make it to where I use it quite a bit, right? But it's nice. I spent my Dogecoin money on that, actually. So some of my Dogecoin profits, a lot of it actually just went to taxes, but Dogecoin taxes. Let's see. I'll be going to see Top Gun. Ooh, that one's going to be good, I heard. They actually had a really good 4K trailer. I want to see that where they put it on streaming services. They actually just put Batman on the HBO Max. I'm looking... nobody that I know has said the Batman movie was good, so I don't know if I want to watch it. Everybody says he's like an emo kid, and he just kind of does these weird blank stares, and he's not as cool as Christian Bale. But I still want to watch it so I can have those same opinions, I guess you could say. Um, so I'm gonna be watching it sometime later on this week with like high volume and everything to see all the rumbles and stuff, and I hope there's a good amount of action and so forth in it. But I hope it's not boring, because if it's boring, I'll probably fall asleep in it, because I've been lacking of sleep lately. Let's see. Hey David, I was very close to selling my Doge last night, but that's when I remembered that last summer I had the same feeling right before the big pump. Glad I held so far. It can be brutal. That's why it really depends on how you guys are trading right now. Because right now I think the hardest thing to kind of figure out if you need to sell or hold is these nibbles that we've been talking about. Those small positions that we take up over time, because there's a broad strategy for trading them, but it's not as simple as trading the breakout, buying the breakout, having your price target, scaling out at each individual price target, and if it doesn't hit, you kind of fall back on that trailing stop loss or whatever stop loss you put in there, and you're able to make sure you get some profit out of it. That's nice and easy. Same with the shorting; it's been fairly simple. That's why I did the short last night, even though I wanted it to go down even more. It's not as simple that way, and especially with something that we're holding for the long term. My gosh, part of the thing for long term traders like myself and a lot of you guys, when we feel that the market is going down, a lot of times I want to sell off some of my crypto just to buy it back at a lower price so I can accumulate more coins, more coins, more coins. Now, the downside of that is actually I have to pay taxes on certain things. But at the same time, I'm accumulating more coins, which makes me more profit down the road. And a lot of my taxes come from a lot of my crypto taxes are actually paid with stocks. I like to keep my crypto portfolio kind of separate. And so whenever I pay taxes, it's usually off the profits I make in the stock market, because options makes me a lot more money than crypto does at this moment in time. Because I know, like, as far as my longer term positions, I don't sell those at all. I don't move them at all. But like, I've been holding stuff from last summer still. I've been holding stuff from like a year ago, a little over a year ago, and it's still been doing fine. A lot of it's still up if you think about it. Last 365 days. I don't know if I can actually pull this up here. Let me see. Can we go over here to filters, and let's go to one more filter? Then let's go to percentage change. No. Oh, I don't want to filter. I want to. Do I do this? Customize. Sorry. Oh, they don't have a 365-day thing. Hmm. Yeah, that's a shame. I wish they had a. Let's see. Didn't spell gecko right, but that's okay. Oh, I did spell it. No, I don't know if I did. Does this have it? I don't like using this because it's so such a bright light. There we go. I'm not going to make an account right now. But okay. But anyway, let's just use the 90-day. Last 90-day percentages. Right. See, some of these like Stefan up 2,000%, ApeCoin up 1,000%, Kyber Network up 195, Zill up 83, Eunice up 62, Waves 48. So there's been a lot of good moves here. A lot of my coins that have been doing fairly well are like the exchange tokens. Even KuCoin, if you look at it, KuCoin's up like 0.06%. It hasn't really done much, but I'm okay with that technically because I'm holding on to these coins for a longer period of time. But even my BGB started to slow down for me as far as making profits. Let's see, BGB, um, right? But year to date, it's still just fine, right? So I'm hoping for good things for this in the long term. Oh, I guess somebody's saying about this. BGB long term, $1 very soon, $5 soon. Oh my gosh, this guy's trying to pump it, pump it, pump it. Um, there is a lot more people buying into this. I do understand that, but I'm not gonna say this is gonna hit some type of crazy expectation very soon. This is a long term grind for me that I know is gonna make me money over the long term here. But Bitcoin's coming down here a little bit. We'll see what happens. All right. Hey, Jacardo, am I holding any Doge right now? Yeah, I'm holding about 60,000 coins at about 0.0024 average. So it's the same Dogecoin I've had since like a couple years ago, a while ago now. I sold half at 50 cents back during the Dogecoin boom. I wanted to sell the rest of it around like 80 cents. It never hit it. Got close, didn't hit it though. And so I'm just kind of been waiting it out to see if I can get it back up there again and see what I can do. Normally, I would have a stop loss on it, and I would have actually sold the rest of it around 50 cents where my first order was, first sell order was. But part of me was like, okay, well, at this time in my head, I'm like, okay, well, I'm running a YouTube channel where I talk about Doge almost every day, talking about that, Bitcoin, Ethereum. It probably would be wise for me just to have some Dogecoin in my account, just so I could say, okay, here I got some Doge, I have some skin in the game with you guys, right? So my thing was, I'll just put it as a long-term investment. I'm so bullish on the long-term prospects of Dogecoin, but my thing about Dogecoin is like the inflation, and everything. I don't like that about it. But the real thing that it's not really a bad thing. In my mind, I see Dogecoin having a multiplier of like maybe max from now 10x, maybe 11, maybe at high as 15x from where it is now. So a good return on it. But what I'm looking for the next altcoin season is I'm looking for something to plop in, a few $100 into it that's at a very low market cap where over time it could have a 50x, 100x return on my investment. And so that's why I have some left in Dogecoin, but that's why I haven't been adding any more to Dogecoin. I've just been adding it to other types of plays, like BGB. Right now I have, well, right now the valuation of my BGB is at about like $3,000 right now. Um, and over time, I hope that I'll get into the tens of thousands as I hold on to it for longer and longer periods of time, and as it gets to a higher and higher market cap. Because right now the market cap, it's only at, I bought it around like $33 million market cap, $36 million market cap. Right now BGB is standing at about $94, $93 million market cap. And you see, it's kind of tripled, right? And so I'm hoping down the road it'll go even higher, go even higher. Because if I've made a good amount of money just at the $93 million market cap, what happens when it hits 200 million, 300 million, 400 million, 500 million, which I think is that sweet spot right there, and then we'll see what happens after that if they're able to get into the billions. And I think exchanges are going to be going to be good going forward that way. And I think exchanges are usually my favorite places to hunker down and put some money for the long term because, especially when a newer exchange comes out and you're allowed to buy it in America, I think that's a good boost for long term prospects of the company. We'll see how regulations hit these crypto companies and exchanges, but I think overall they're going to be fine. And BGB is not going to get sued by the SEC and things like that because they do not have high interest yields like a Voyager or a BlockFi, all those types of companies. SEC hates poor people or just middle income people having access to high yield. I don't know why. I think they've been bought. I think the SEC is kind of corrupt, if you ask me. But man, like high interest savings accounts or just yield accounts, whether it's USDC or whatever cryptocurrency you're holding, I think that is an amazing thing, and I wish they would just not mess with it. There is no reason to mess with it except for like bashing on the little guy, and I think that's exactly what the SEC is doing. I hate that the SEC does that. I've called my local senator, Patty Murray, about it, and she said, well, her staff said she would look into it. I never got a response. I'll call again to nag them about it. But I do not like how the SEC is trying to bully those companies that give high interest yields. Like Voyager gives 9% yearly interest for holding USDC. I don't like how they're trying to stop those companies from doing that. I think that's absurd. That's absurd. If this is a competitive marketplace, just because the banks can't afford to give 9%, that doesn't mean these companies can't. Let them do it. They got a lot of funding for it. Banks could afford to if they really wanted to, but they're like, nah, you don't deserve that much money. How are we going to make money off of your investments with us or whatever? How are we going to make products and loan out the money you give us? So there's a touch of corruption in the system that I don't like, and I think a big part of that goes into the SEC. There's some there's a guy, Jon Stewart, pretty liberal, pretty funny sometimes. He has a show on Apple. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. So he has this little video right here. How Redditors expose the stock market, how people treat the stock market and stuff like this. I don't really. He has like a lot of more like gun violence stuff. I don't really watch that type of stuff. I have different opinions on it. But anything about the economy, I like to watch. Anything else about social issues, I don't like politics when it goes into social issues because it's just annoying, frankly. Because people like I'm black, people like think I have a weird mindset and all that type of crap. But what do you call take a look at him. They're pretty interesting, and he asks some very basic questions. He's trying to be more even sided than he used to be on his shows, which I kind of like. So give him a look. Of course, I'm only in the economic space. I only have so much time in the day, so I tend to only spend that time on economic videos. But lately I've been watching more music videos on YouTube. I've been watching a lot more videos about Disney songs like Hellfire and stuff like that, or The Lion King, Not One of Us. Good songs. But most of the time, I'm pretty much just watching economic videos. By the way, this has nothing to do with crypto, but there is a great video on CNBC today. Let me see if I can find this right here. It it was more of a fun interview that I enjoyed watching, but they have Kevin O'Leary on, the guy from Shark Tank. Um, right here, Kevin O'Leary. Twitter needs change. I wouldn't touch this stock. He has a pretty good interpretation of what Elon Musk is trying to do, and I really enjoyed watching it. You can see it had 19,000 views, while most of these only have like 1,000, 3,000, 2,000, 6,000 right here. So it had a decent amount of views here today. So I would encourage you guys to watch. It's only 5 minute long. The other guy talks for like the last minute or so. You can kind of ignore him. I don't like his perspective. Didn't really make much sense to me. He's coming from the corporate perspective, like the censorship perspective, which I don't really agree with. But yeah, watch that one if you guys get a chance. It was very, very funny to watch. Kevin O'Leary has some good points in that one. And what's it here? Let's see. And hey, Tony, I'm doing pretty well, man. Thanks for asking. Do you have a price target now for like 30 cents ish? For hey, Jacardo, for which cryptocurrency? If you're talking about BGB, let me know. I think that's the one that I talked about in the past few seconds here. But let me know, Jacondo, and I'll look it up for you, or I'll let you know what my price target is for it. Hey, Tony, mega corruption, exactly. Tony Roses, Jordan is back. What's right here? What's right here? Banano, banano, banano. Number 762, market cap of 21 million. Banano is a feeless, instant, rich in potassium cryptocurrency powered by DAG technology disrupting the meme economy. Banano is a fourth generation fungible and edible cryptocurrency with a cool yellow logo and pedicles. Okay. I'm trying to get away from the joke part of this and into like the nitty gritty of what it's trying to do. Hold on. Big yellow paper. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So they're trying to be a faster service than Bitcoin. I think that's not too hard when you think about Bitcoin here. Um, they've invested some good money into this. Looks like. Accounts. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think this would be something you can put some money into as far as a YOLO network, a YOLO type of play here. Long term ambitions with like maybe $100 to $200. Proof of work, not proof of stake. I kind of like that as well. Uh, Anything else here? No. Okay. But yeah, I think that'd be a good long term bet. A good long term bet. Again, only putting $100 to $200 into it. But from just kind of, I would have to take obviously a deeper look into it. But I could see that being okay. It's right there. Jacondo Doge. Do I have a price target for it now? As far as Dogecoin's concerned, by the end of the year, if Bitcoin does hurry up and kind of have this crash, which I kind of foresee happening, I think by the end of the year, Dogecoin can get back up towards like minimum of 40 cents, maximum of like probably up to like a dollar 20 or so. It really depends on how fast we have this surge coming afterwards. So if we kind of go back in time here, there's a few different things that happen when Bitcoin does have these nasty moves down. So after the last death cross and we broke down below the 20-month moving average here, we had a fast drop. That drop lasted for pretty much 56 days. Excuse me. And then following that, it took a little bit of time, but then we started to make some, excuse me, geez, some nice highs, right? After that here, I mean, what is it? Last death cross we had, it was back right here. Came back down a little bit, but this one took a little bit longer, right? So I could see Dogecoin being higher than what it is now at the end of the year, but it's going to be turbulence before we get there. So if you have Dogecoin, what I'm doing with my Dogecoin is I'm just holding it. But I know a lot of other people are either just slowly accumulating more Dogecoin because they want to make more money down the road, or what they're doing is they're just swinging it in terms of when Dogecoin spikes, they sell part of the Dogecoin. So when Dogecoin falls back down after one of those pump and dumps that we always see, it comes back down. You are able to buy more Dogecoin for the long term. That's kind of what I've been looking at right now. I'm just holding mine, of course, but I've been seeing a lot more people do that type of strategy as far as Dogecoin is concerned. You can always add more money to it, but I think there's always a sense of fear in Dogecoin, specifically because there's an unlimited amount of coins right now, and people kind of want them to fix that problem because I think that is the biggest problem that Dogecoin has. It's not gonna end Dogecoin. It's not gonna make it like so where it goes to being worthless, right? But it's something where they need to figure out a way to stop. They got to change course just a little bit and say, hey guys, we understood we wanted to make this, inflationary, so there's always more coins popping out. But we kind of had a change of heart for whatever reason, whatever blank blank blank. Well, they could always make up something and say, hey, we want to take a different path here. Let's actually cap the coins at this. We'll stop putting new coins out in the market. And January of 2023, kind of give it a little bit more of a leeway to it, and then boom, and then you'll start to see more enthusiasm for holding Dogecoin long term. Part of my reasoning for holding Dogecoin is I bought it at a very long time ago for a very good price. Then second of all, Elon Musk is in it, and Elon usually has a very, 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 very good track record as far as investments. So I'm putting a little bit of faith in Elon as well here. But the fact that I have a 0.0024 average doesn't hurt as well. What are my thoughts on DAOs? I was looking at Tim. Let me see if I can find Tim for you here very fast. Overall, I think they're fine. I don't have anything against them. Nothing bad. It really is like a coin by coin basis of going in and seeing what they do as far as utility. I think as far as they go, I'm looking for a key utility. Like what can they do that nobody else can do? Do they have a good community? Do they have good social media? That type of stuff. As far as 10 right here, 37, it doesn't have a market cap. I'm assuming it's a very, very cheap price here. I wish it was actually cheaper as far as the price, so people would be more willing to buy it so I can get to like a penny than a dollar. There's a different mindset there. Trading View, nothing on Trading View, okay. Nice website. This is a website off of Canva, if I'm not mistaken. Cryptocurrency evolved. Ultra lightweight, quantum secure, decentralized network, redefining the boundaries of blockchain and cryptocurrencies to empower financial freedom. Uh, yeah. So made by a doctor. That's kind of cool. Hopefully, he's a good doctor. Uh, so what are they trying to do though? So a payment cryptocurrency. They're trying to get into that world. This is a very competitive space right now. I guess you could say. So if they can find a way to crack into it and get their own little market here, that'd be really good. They're gonna have to find a partner for this one as well. So probably worth like a pop $50 investment to $100 investment, hoping they can get something really good there. You're gonna have to see if they're gonna how their progress has been doing. But if they've been making progress and they've been having the AMAs here, like the weekly kind of like get-togethers, saying, hey, here's what we did, or monthly get-togethers, whatever they have it for, I would consider putting some money into it. But you really want to dig deep into that one. You want to make sure the utility is sound and then make sure they have a really good plan going forward, and that the plans that they had in the past also have been for the most part, they've reached their target, so to speak. You don't want to see them always failing to meet their targets, failing to meet their targets. That leads to a bad, you know, it just leads to like, it's just gonna get worse and worse from there. There was a word I was trying to say that's a little bit more professional, but I'm forgetting it right now. See, it makes sense that Doge is inflationary for utility purpose of being a future currency of the future. Yeah, I don't like it as far as making money off of the coin. For utility, sure. But as far as making money off of the coin and making money as far as an investment is concerned, I don't like it. So utility, yes, I get what you're saying completely, 100% right. In fact, Dogecoin over time, I think it has like a cap in mind, but it's not for like a decade or two. I want them to move that time frame up. I do not like I do not like buying stuff that's having new shares issued or new coins issued daily, right? Or however often they do it. There's a point to what you said. It's just it makes it harder to make money off of the investment. And as a trader, as much as I like Dogecoin, I like all these coins, I'm really only in it to make money, not about the passion of the project. Um, I have passion for the project, but that's not why I really invested in it, if that makes sense. I'm here solely for the money because I like money that much. Probably because I grew up pretty impoverished, poor, whatever you want to call it. So I'm very conservative. I like to make my investments, quite off for some basic technicals and things like that. Or, man, I am tired. Basic fundamentals, utilities, so to speak, right? So there's a point, but I want to be able to make money with it. And part of the reason that Dogecoin has continued to come down, down, down is the fact that it's just so many more coins getting added onto the market. It's one of the big things I hold against BitTorrent. I was very happy to hold BitTorrent last year. I've shaved off about 20% since they've added more coins and they kind of changed stuff up because they added more to the supply. It's not specifically a Dogecoin thing, but whenever a coin keeps on adding more coins to the supply, I tend to not sour on it, but I tend to not buy as much as I otherwise would have if they did have a cap on how many coins were circulating throughout the system. If that makes sense. Hey, man, here, have a good day, my man. Thanks for tuning in for the stream for just a few seconds. But yeah, guys, Bitcoin, everything is turning red for the day here. Nothing really crazy, but we are seeing a little bit of red here. Hmm. But again, the big thing we're looking for, guys, is just the snap. There you go. Keep on messing this particular chart up. There we go. The next 2 weeks are important because we really want to stay above this 20-month moving average here. Okay, for the fourth month in a row, we've come back down below it just to bounce back up. That's the goal here for today, guys, or for the next 2 weeks. But if you think about it, it's rare that we actually come. So I'll show you guys this. We normally have a big spike, come straight towards it, maybe a little bit of a hump there, then we break back down, come up, come back down, come up, come back down, come up. This time, we came up so strong on this last move, partly because of all the money kind of funneling from the governments to the people for COVID relief. Came back down, crashed, came back up. Most of the time, we would have actually come back down here and then broken down and then started chugging back up and doing some cool stuff. Now, we're kind of worrying, are we going to be able to bounce back up here, or are we going to break back down towards the 50 and then consolidate and then kind of make a move up there? Either way, in the long term, crypto is going to be just fine. Bitcoin is going to be fine. For me, I think of this as an opportunity. If Bitcoin were to have some type of larger move down where crypto falls we're at 40,000. It's like, let's say crypto falls about $15,000, $13,000, maybe $27,000, $28,000, somewhere around there. I'm going to use that as a great buying opportunity to just start loading up more coins, because the way I look at it, if I bought on the crash down here when we ran into the, let me see if I can actually go to the weekly chart, the 200 daily moving average. If I bought around here, at the towards the highs over here, I could have made 231% on Bitcoin. Imagine what I would have made on altcoins, right? Especially on those low market cap altcoins. You do it again down here. I would have had to deal with Bitcoin falling an extra 30%, and I probably would have even doubled down or even tripled down on this. But then again, if I were to sell buy around here, on this rally right here, that's about 79%. And then if we waited until the next big, move here, out because we had a golden cross following that, then that's about 1,000% return on Bitcoin, right? And so I think about this not as something to be afraid of. I'm thinking of this because I'm salivating on being able to buy so many more altcoins, so much more Bitcoin. But I just want it to hurry up and happen, right? Every single time we have these death crosses, we come back down to the 200. And on top of that, every single time we fall back down below the... Can I actually pull this up here? I wonder if it will let me. 200 weekly? 200 weekly, is that it? 200 weekly, yeah. So every single time we break down below the 20-month moving average as well, we tend to come back down to that 200 weekly moving average here. So that's what I'm hoping for now. Well, over the next few weeks or so, we might come back down here towards 25,000, 27,000, and that'd be a 35% drop for Bitcoin here, right? So I think in order for this to happen, though, because the stock market and Bitcoin has been kind of correlated over the last few weeks, months, I think the market may have to have a negative move down, whether that comes on interest rates or something like that. That'll be the catalyst that kind of brings us back down so we can all have these great buying opportunities. And you know what? Even if we keep going back down, I'm just going to keep on buying and buying and buying. Within measure, guys. I'm not going to go put my whole bank account into it. But I'll be buying like tens of thousands of dollars, be pouring into the crypto market for me personally at some of these specific levels. I'll start buying crypto in smaller amounts, medium amounts. If we go back over here to last summer's lows of about 28,000, 29,000, I'll first start buying right there. Afterwards, I'll start buying around 27,000, then 25,000, then 23,000. And if we even get down to 23 or $25,000, right? But if we get down to those levels, I'll be happy to keep on buying crypto at those levels. And I think you guys would be as well, right? Just from looking at the patterns over the past 4 or 5 years now, when we're in a really desperate situation like this, you guys should be salivating. Right now, I'm buying, but I'm always buying small amounts because I'm just like, I don't really like this too much, right? Like here, let me go over here. Let me pop this up. Let me go one more time. Let's go 50, and then let's go to a chart. Something that I've been looking at here is every single time we've had one of these larger crashes, what did I do? Oh, 50. I don't know if you guys can see this here. Maybe I'll move right there. Yeah, let me move this right here. Let me shrink this down. Can I not move this up? There you go. Every time we have these type of major crashes where we're breaking down below the 20, the RSI seems to be right smack in the middle of the chart. So smack in the middle of the chart, right around here, about 55, 60, a little bit higher, but not, around the middle. Next time we broke down below it, right down here on November 1st this month, or October 8th, November 1st. So October, right down there, about 53, 54. The next time after that, right here, March 1st, happened to be actually a little bit lower, about 50, kind of break even. And then so far right now, we're kind of around 52. So we're kind of in that golden spot, just looking at the history of the RSI here. We're kind of in that prime spot where if you're looking at the monthly RSI, we're still good enough in a spot where we could come down even more. Even though we'd be undervalued, we would still be within that range of the RSI, which would be acceptable for the monthly chart. Weekly chart here, if you look at it, we're kind of at the lower point here. Go back in time. When things really started looking bad, this was March 2nd. We were still in the middle spot right there. Going all the way back over here before we take a big dump, or let's just go the death cross over here. we were kind of back in that middle spot, kind of a little bit underneath like 48, 49. Back when we actually had the big crash here. That was at what, November 12th. That was a little bit low. That was at 44, right? So, and right now we're currently at about 44, 43. So there's a lot of similarities right now, which is why April and May are going to be such big months for us. This is kind of why I am bearish on Bitcoin in the short, medium term. But over the long term, I'm like, let's just get ready to rumble. It's going to be some amazing profits for us. But I'm salivating over getting some better buying opportunities for Bitcoin because over the past few weeks, I've just been like, cool, I'm buying some, but am I really excited about it? Not really. I'm not excited to put larger investments of over $1,000 in any specific coin. Only coins I've been loading up on are smaller amounts of a few $100 here, a few $100 here on STMX and other plays. Where I'm hoping that over the long term, just having that entry point in case for whatever reason Bitcoin were to soar without me, I would still have exposure to some of those lower market cap coins. Larger market cap coins I've only been buying in certain amounts, like Luna. That's about it. Like there's other coins obviously, but not nearly as much capital being devoted to those types of currencies or coins. Let me get all this weird stuff out of the way here. And down. Well, this is going to be interesting. I hate doing this now. There, there we go. Okay. Jeez. Took a little longer than I wanted it to. Oh, hey, Danny. How is it going, Mike? What do you think about BitGert? BitGert. What is BitGert? BitGert. Let's see. BitGert market cap of $541 million. It's having a nice day so far today. I wouldn't be chasing this personally. Normally, when I see stuff like this, I like to day trade it, not swing it, because it could just fall off a rock while I'm sleeping. What I'm looking at right now, though, let me see. Go to Trading View here. Yeah, look at that daily chart. It's already been pumping up. It's taking a little bit of a breather right now. If it breaks down below this trend line, I might try to take a short opportunity on it, but it looks a little bit too volatile for me to really want to short something that can just easily just go back up once another wave hits it. If this sets up for another breakout or so, maybe some type of symmetrical triangle or something like that, maybe you could try to break it, play with it. But I would say 30-minute chart. What do we see right here? It's up there a little bit more. Yeah, I would probably have to wait for a break, and I would only be day trading this, not swing trading it. As far as long term, I would not be holding this for the long term right now. I'd be waiting for it to potentially come back down and then buy some. This thing has had a crazy rally. Awesome if you had it beforehand, but I think you're going to see a lot of people start to scale out of this, especially unless some more news comes out that keeps it pumping up and pumping up and pumping up, so to speak. But I think in the short term, this would be a fun thing to day trade. Long term, you'd have to do some more due diligence and kind of go over the white paper and stuff like that. Hopefully, it has a good utility there. But it looks like it's some type of catalyst caused it to really soar today. So I think it'd be really fun to day trade. Swinging, be careful about chasing it. A lot of times, a lot of these coins have some massive pumps just to dump over the next few days, right? So just be careful of the dump factor, but day trading this would be really fun. Thank you. We have execution definitely is the hardest part, which is why I'm so upset about crypto right now because I want it to go down even more so I can load up more in the long term here, right? I'd be really happy to come back down. What I'm looking at in my mind right now, in a very, 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 very basic sense, is this. Two things right here. I just want to break down below that line. I just want to break down below that line. That's what I'm looking for. If we can break down below that line, I'll be very happy because then crypto will come back down towards 29,000, 28,000, and then that's where I will start buying larger amounts of crypto. But I really, even at this point, do not feel a need to be buying larger amounts. Again, I have large amounts of long-term crypto holdings. I'm talking about longer swing moves where I start nibbling up good amounts over here, large amounts, large amounts, and I wanted to buy large amounts down here actually last time as well. I only got medium-sized amounts right here. I was able to double down after we broke out of the Ichimoku cloud. That's where things were looking pretty good for us. But now the Ichimoku cloud, it doesn't even work that much for us, unfortunately, right? So I really just want to break down below this from a bearish standpoint so I can accumulate more coins. I know a lot of us kind of just don't even want to come back down here. They just want to see us go up because I know a lot of you guys you guys already have positions. You're just like, we want to go that way, straight up to the moon. I wish it worked that way, but we have a chance over the next few days, like I said, to have a great week and try to pump back up to about $45,000. If we can get back above that 20-week moving average, maybe we can have a good time going forward. I wasn't optimistic about us breaking back down after only holding for 1 week above the 20-week moving average. But again, whales can say, screw you to the bearish technicals and try to pump Bitcoin back up. They're trying to do that right now. Will they succeed? Nobody knows. But if they do, you guys should have a plan in case that does occur, so you guys, are able to make some money off of it. There you go. And hey, Jay, yeah, guys, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel and clicking the like button. I appreciate it. Okay, everybody, that's it for today. Good hour and a half stream. I'll be on tomorrow at 6 p.m. I need to get some rest tonight. I've just been kind of tired, if you guys can't tell. It's been a long day here. But we'll keep an eye out for it. Be careful of the next few days, guys. We're going to have some volatility. We're going to have some shakeouts. Don't feel like you have to chase any volatile move that comes out here, okay? Don't feel like you have to chase it. Just kind of whatever your plan is, stick with it. And if you guys do want to do some day trading here and there, definitely go for it. Just understand the whales are going to be playing their own games. So if you guys take a short on some type of obvious downward trend or whatever, don't be surprised if whales try to push us back up all of a sudden. On the flip side, if we're going up pretty well and you buy a breakout, don't be surprised if some shorts try to come in here and break us back down. Okay. So just be aware of that. The whales are kind of playing their games. So that means there's a much higher risk level right now if you guys are trading crypto. When things are more choppy and more boring like this, cool. But when we're breaking down from these trend lines here and then the technicals aren't working out as much as we want them to because of whales pretty much having the capital to boost up the market, that gives me a little bit of pause personally to say, hey, I'm going to take a little bit of a break here. I'm just going to kind of watch what I'm doing here. And, just take it easy. Don't got to stress about crypto, guys. There's no reason to stress about where we're at right now. But we're still at $40,000. And last year, right? Where were we at? March, April. Last year we were back up at like 58,000. I'm like, overall, I'm not too concerned. We haven't really done a major downward move. Remember? Highs, or not highs, but, larger move, crash, larger move, crash. We haven't had a crash. We haven't had a 50% crash, right? We've only had these mild drops where we've come down a little bit more, but we haven't had those really drastic crashes where, like, from the peaks, 84% drop, 72% drop. This drop was 55%. This drop right here was 51%. We haven't had any catastrophic drops. You okay, boy? Yeah, I'm taking a look at these bathroom as well.